who said she was in Tyler because she had received a phone call from Tyler hospital saying that she needed to rush there because my grandson was there in a coma. He was taken to the hospital in a coma. My grandson is a type 1 diabetic from childhood. It was discovered when he was about 5 years old, and he has been on insulin ever since that time. His sugar had suddenly rocketed high, and he went into a diabetic coma. The EMS were called, they tried to resuscitate him, and then he was rushed to the hospital where he was intubated. It's about 2 hours drive. By the time my daughter arrived there, he was already intubated. When I heard that, I was very disturbed. I said, how can it be when I have been on this fire altar? Just last week, Pastor Jerry said, post on all your social media and say, I am on the other side of my joy. I said, I already made that announcement for all the world to see. So is this what I'm going to get? My grandson is not going anywhere. So that's how I prayed with my daughter. So I started praying the NSPPD prayers for April 29, 2024, which is today. So when I started praying, 1 hour, 11 minutes and a few seconds, Pastor Jerry, you mentioned that anyone with the appointment of death, the devil is a liar, it has been reversed.
Whether you have it or you do not have it, anybody with any appointment of death, today, at the sound of your amen, you will not die.
I screamed, amen, amen, amen. 2 hours later, my daughter texted me to say he has woken up. She called me and told me that he had been extubated and that if I wanted to talk to him, I could talk to him. And I talked to him. I talked to my grandson. So I want to say thank you to this God, the faithful God, and to thank you, Pastor Jerry Eze, for your commitment, for your faithfulness to the call of God and the sacrifices that you make in order to be in that realm of the Spirit where you are able to hear the voice of God and to be able to pronounce exactly what you are seeing and exactly what you are hearing from the throne of God. I'm here to testify that my grandson is alive, and I want to thank God.
So I'm the one God showed mercy, and I've come here to give God all the glory and all the adoration. So towards the end of February 2024, I wasn't feeling well. I had a bit of a chest pain, so I thought, let me just go into A&E and get this checked out. As I went in there, they did a scan. Initially, they said, we're going to send you home because we think it's all fine. But before we do that, we do a quick scan before we send you off. They did a scan, and what they said to me is they found an incidental sort of cyst or mass sitting in the center of my chest, or my lungs, if you like. So then I said to them, so what is this? They said, we don't know. What we need to do then is we need to keep you in so we can do further investigations, and then we can conclude. And so I remember they kept me in. The next morning, the doctors came around my bed. They said to me, it's cancerous. I was shattered. I was in tears. I was all over the place. And I remember my sister, God bless her, she came in. She said, why are you crying? Do not cry. Join in the link, NSPPD. Keep on praying with Pastor Jerry. Everything is going to be absolutely fine as long as you are on the altar praying. And it's exactly what I did. I joined in on NSPPD, consistently praying every morning, joining in the prayer. And then I remember they had to send me off to a specialist so they can do further investigations to confirm that it is for sure cancerous. And so what they had done is they had ordered me a PET scan. Pastor Jerry had declared on the altar of fire, lung cancer reversed.
They said the preliminary checks already show that you have lung cancer, but you need to go and do more tests. You need to go and do more tests. If you are the one put it on the live stream, I came to reverse that order. As you go to do more tests, I command, let lung cancer disappear.
I went off to do the PET scan, and then I remember on the day they had done all the bloods and they kept me in the cubicle. And what I'd done on that morning, I was joining NSPPD as usual, morning prayers. I remember the nurse coming into my cubicle saying to me, "You need to sit down, you're about to have PET scan, you can't be standing and doing whatever you're doing." I just ignored her, carried on praying consistently. And I remember after the PET scan, a few days later, the doctor called me, "Pastor Jerry, no cancer." I just want to give God all the glory and all adoration for what he's done for me, for making this thing non-cancerous. Pastor Jerry, thank you so much for all the prayers that you consistently make every morning and the impact that you continue to make on lives around the world. God bless you.
My name is Lydia. I'm giving this testimony from Ghana, and I'm giving it on behalf of my son, Brian. Last year, that's 2022, when my son came back from school, I noticed some changes in his walking. And so I asked him, but he said all what he could remember was that they were playing football and someone hit his head with the ball. He fell. After getting up, he realized that he was feeling pain, and so he left the pitch. That was all. We could see more changes when he was walking a little bit. So we took him to hospital, did all types of tests, x-rays and all that, but nothing tangible was given to us. The pain is getting severe, and so as a concerned mother, we went ahead looking for solution for him. We went to the 37 military hospital. That was where a biopsy was taken, and then they told us that it is actually a tumor that was growing on his leg, that is his hip, that is the trochanter femur area. That is a tumor that was growing over there, and they needed to do a biopsy. So they took the biopsy and they gave it to us to take him to histopathology for assessment. It came out that it is malignant. And the 37 military hospital, a nurse who was with the doctor in that consulting room, see how devastated I was, walked to me and then asked me. I actually didn't know of NSPP, and my son was just looking straight into my eyes because the doctor said it in front of him. And so he became alarmed, and then he was just looking straight into my eyes, asking me, "Mommy, am I going to die? Mommy, am I going to die?" So the nurse walked to me and said, "Madam, are you a Christian?" I said, "Yes." He said, "I have a link. If you wouldn't mind, I can share it with you. In that place, in that fire altar, cancers have been healed like drinking water. So if you wouldn't mind, I can share that link with you." I said, "Why not? Share it with me." Every day we're on the altar looking forward for a miracle or our case to be mentioned. When we went to the Olebu Teaching Hospital, that place, they talked to you in a plain language. We got to know that what is actually wrong with my son is osteosarcoma. And osteosarcoma is a bone cancer. They did a surgery. They gave us the sample to take it to histopathology again. We took it there, and then it came out that the report came out that it's still there, and therefore they need to do another surgery. The review doctor, she saw the report and she was like, "Madam, well, you need to go back to the orthopedics to show them this report, but there's something that you need to do again." And then she said again, "But me, I want you to do an MRI." So on waiting for the MRI, I decided to be on the altar for some time before I go in for the MRI. And then on the 18th of October, Papa said it, osteosarcoma for the first time, osteosarcoma.
I don't know what this is, but what I see written in front of me is osteosarcoma, osteosarcoma, ekolashanaba, orapaliana. The devil is a liar. By the mercies of God, I announce, let it be reversed, let it be reversed.
I ran from my room to my son's room, and then I was shouting, and then we did the MRI. We took it back to the hospital, and then they said we should take it to the doctor reviewed it and said we should take it to the orthopedic doctor. So together with the report from the pathology and then this one, we went there. So when we were going, because the word of knowledge had come, I had this confidence in me that there's nothing wrong with my son anymore, and they need not to do that second surgery that we're talking about. So when we went, the doctor said, "Yes, this is the report from the histopathology, and he's sorry that he has to go in again for our case because the histopathology report says that they should there's some left over there. No, cancer can spread, and therefore they just want the boy to go back to his normal life, and so they need to go again." So I told them that no, yes, you are a doctor, But I also want you to know that this boy sitting down here is my son. There's nothing wrong with him. So you need not to do the surgery. He's fine. And then so it became an argument in that consulting room. The man was saying that I should allow him to do the surgery, and I also said no. There's nothing wrong. He said I should go and pray and then support them in prayer so that he will go and do it. I tried everything possible to stop the doctor, but he said no. So I asked him, "Do you really want to do this surgery?" He said yes. "Do you really want to do it?" He said yes. He said, "Okay, go ahead and do it, because I know that what you saw before, you won't see it again." So they gave us a short date. That was on the 26th of October. Then they need to do the second surgery. So the 26th October came, and then they took my son to the theater. One thing that I've been telling my son whenever they take him to the theater room is that don't forget it. Continue reciting what God cannot do does not exist. Even when he was in the theater room, he still recited. They took him to the theater in the morning, and at 6 p.m. they were still there. I became so devastated, worried, going, coming, playing NSPPD. So around 7 p.m. I saw the doctor coming out. The doctor came out, I met him, he said, "Oh, you are still here?" I said, "Yes." He said, "Oh, your son is in the recovery room. You can go and see him." So I went. As I was going, I met another doctor, and then I asked the doctor, "Please, how did it go?" He said, "Oh, everything went on fine, but it's just that we didn't see anything." I was like, "What did you just say?" I said, "We didn't see anything." But at a point in time, they started calling me, telling me to bring the histopathology report, the X-ray report, the MRI CD, the MRI images. So I became confused. I was like, what is happening? So the doctor told me that they didn't see anything. Papa would say, "How would you shout?" At that point in time, there was goosebumps all over me. I held the doctor, I embraced the doctor tightly, and the doctor was like, "Are you okay?" I said, "Yes, I am fine. What God cannot do does not exist." So fast forward, when they brought my son told me that, "Mommy, when I was there, I overheard them because they were talking that they didn't see anything. They are not seeing anything. They are not seeing anything. I was just there listening to them." And I said, "Everything is over." So the report, they gave us another sample to be taken to the histopathology, and then the report came out that nothing was found. Nothing was found. What God cannot do does not exist. What Jehovah God cannot do does not exist. Thank you, Pastor Eze, for honoring this call. It is not easy. It is not easy for availing yourself for this call. God will richly bless you and your descendants. May you never lack anything. May the oil on your head never runs dry.